they couldn't keep their weight down between fights. They blew up between fights. I know guys that stopped boxing just because they didn't have time for it. And don't get me wrong, like if you got another route to make money, do your thing. You know, like bro, like I say all the time, God willing, I have kids. I wouldn't let them box. You know, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't let them, but I wouldn't want them to do it. You know, just because I've been in there and I've experienced it. And bro, like I got double vision now. You feel me? Just from getting punched in the head. Like it's one of those things that I didn't ever think was real. And you know, boxing is dangerous, but when it actually impacts you, it makes you think twice. Like, damn, you really aren't supposed to get in your head, hit in your head. You know, so
oh, you gotta have something some screws loose in the head.
Yeah.
To this day, me being 32 years old, and why I still get in there once in a while with some of the kids, I don't understand it. But there's some screws loose in there.
Yeah, and I said it like, I don't know if I probably said it on Instagram somewhere, but you could love boxing, it'll never love you back. You know, like you can love it as much as you want, it'll never love you back. So, I owe my life to the place. You know, I mean to the sport, to this place, but I mean it's a cruel sport. You know, and I don't even to this day like I don't not just if I had kids, but I tell kids at Pal like, you don't want to box, do something else. You know, like do a different sport or
well, you're gonna be, you know, I can see already the future. You're gonna be the new generation, Coach D. A lot of the things I see how you speak is straight. I know you know it too. It is straight like Coach D. I see Coach D do a lot with the kids. He'll be like, "There's talent in you, but go find something else. Go do golf or something better. Why do this to yourself?" And you're speaking just like him. That's just like him. You don't want to be a full-time coach. You don't mind helping, Coach D. You're gonna be watched. You're the new Coach D. I'm advising it right now.
You know, when you put it like that, as far as like, because you are right, like Coach D, he's not a full time coach, but he'll like help out and stuff like that. So I don't mind doing stuff like that. And Coach D is like, he's a very wise man. I say that he's a wise man. I could chop it up with Coach D for hours, you know. So
that's usually what I do when I'm on the phone with him. Would you ever consider coming back
to fight?
Yeah. Look at that. Look, shit.
You know, I told you just before, bro. Like, I haven't officially announced my retirement. So, for those that don't know, I'm currently retired. 26 years old, and I guess I could not to take all the time, but I stopped boxing because, you know, when I was in Riverside last year, and I was thinking it was a new beginning to my career. Little did I know it was the beginning of the end. Honestly, like as I was getting sharp and stuff like that, I started having these vision issues, and I didn't know what it was. I was squinting my eyes and stuff like that. But I noticed when I would close one eye, I could see perfectly fine. And come to find out, it was double vision. And honestly, I thought it was from my diet because I was losing weight so fast. And so I fixed my diet, and I ended up finding out that wasn't it. And I remember I was in Bakersfield, and I called Robert Garcia. I go, hey, I'm gonna be gone this Monday. I'll be back like that later on that week. I started having double vision, and he's the one that told me, he's like, hey, Mijo, like he has it. He said a lot of fighters get it from just from getting punched in the head and stuff like that. And I was like, damn, like in my head, I was like, damn, like so I have double vision now from getting punched in the head too much. And it was just like, damn, like now I'm permanently impacted by it, you know? And don't get me wrong, it could always be worse, you know? So like right now, like I have double vision right now. I can see, but I can see way better when I close one eye. And I do have glasses, but I got so used to having double vision that I really don't. And every now and then I'll get headaches and stuff like that. But I know people really are like, what is double vision? They really don't know what it is. But it's like, I can't focus one image with both my eyes, you know? It's like individually, So I have these special glasses. They're called prism glasses, and they sort of bend light to where I can focus one image. And like I said, it could always be worse. I mean, I could be blind from one eye, or I could not see at all. So I'm thankful I could see and stuff like that. But it was just a surreal moment. And so when I was out there, I remember, you know, I was praying on it and just reading my scriptures. And I had been out there for, like 5 months and without a fight date. And I was like burnt out. Like, and it was like, God, why am I out here? Like, no fight, just double vision. And Robert was coming up to me with the contract for the next fight, which I think it was like in Chicago or something like that. And Chicago or Texas, one of them. Anyways, he was like, hey, Mijo, I got this contract for you. And I remember I stopped him, and I was already like teary-eyed. I said, little Robert, like, I got to be honest with you, man. You know, this whole double vision has me thinking twice about if I want to keep doing this, you know. And, bro, I don't care what anybody says, bro. Like, Robert is a solid dude, like, forever in my book, bro. Like Robert showed, like he was like, look, mijo, like you're still young. I'm proud of you. Like most of these guys would have took the money, you know, seen the
Yeah.
contract, took the money and signed it, and then got in there, risked their health. He said, mijo, you're still young. You got a bright future ahead of you. Like don't let any of this phase you. Like don't let money draw you back. Like go home, live your life, like adjust to life. Because he said that he knows too many guys that they let the sport retire them, you know, instead of retiring from the sport. And
He didn't let the sport retire him.
yeah,
He retired young.
yeah, him too, you know. And so like he started telling me all types of stories about different guys that have all these troubles, balance issues, like slobber issues, double vision. He has double vision and all types of issues that you get from
Yeah,
boxing.
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of them with
That
these
you
guys.
get from boxing and stuff like that. And bro, like I got back from Riverside at the end of last year, bro, and man, it was like my quarter life crisis, bro. Like I've been boxing since I was 8 years old, bro. That's all I know, bro.
Yeah.
And bro, I remember breaking down, crying, like God. And bro, I'm not the one that to just sit there and argue with God. I am a man of faith, so I do believe in praying and talking to the Lord. But bro, that was the first time in my life, bro, 26 years of life where or 25 at the time, but I remember coming back, going to church, and I was broken down, crying at my altar at my church. And I remember like crying, like, God, where are you at? Like that was the first time I've ever done something like that, like question God, like not his existence, but his existence in my life. You feel me? Like I know God is real.
Because he's showing it to you right there, and it's ending.
Yeah, and it was kind of like I thought boxing was going to turn out to be this certain way, and it didn't turn out to be this way. So all of a sudden, the fact that it didn't turn out to be the way I thought, all of a sudden God wasn't there, and it made me recontemplate my faith in God. Not losing faith, but like, can I really call what I call faith if it was all, I guess, premised off blessings? If it was all predicated off boxing being successful, you know? And it made me think like, would I serve God without the whole boxing and stuff like that? And it made me, now looking at it, it definitely matured my faith when I thought life was over. And bro, like people don't get how hard it is. And that made me think of athletes in general. Like I say all the time, boxing is not a sport, it's an opportunity. So like you get your money, you get out, you get your opportunity, you get out. But bro, like that held me back as far as when I got back, bro. Now I'm looking for, I worked at the PAL, and not to knock or throw shade to the PAL, but like I've been here my whole life, so I never really considered that going out to get a real job, you know? So now I'm looking for a real job, bro. I'm like, how the hell do you fill out a job application?
Yeah.
What the hell's a reference?
You were so into boxing that that's
bro,
all you
like
knew.
I didn't need no reference for boxing contract, you know? I didn't need none of this, bro. Like I say, like, it sounds so weird, but the boxing ring babied me from the real world, you know? And I'm thankful for everything, and I was able to capitalize off the sport, and I didn't leave empty-handed, you know? It opened up a lot of doors, especially like, you know, I'm far from rich, but financially it was a blessing, you know? Like I got my first car off the boxing ring, you know? I was a blessing to my own, like, me and my mom's household, you know? Like it is a blessing. It blessed me in that way, but it held me back so much. But then again, like I try to think of it in a positive sense, like I'm 26. What if it was 36 and I waited, you know? Because I can imagine all athletes come to a point where they're done with their sport and they're like, now what? You know? Like, now what? Because you can't do your sport forever. And even if you do hit it big, let's say you do hit the millions, one day you will have to stop doing your sport, you know? No matter what. Father Time is undefeated, you know? And granted, I didn't retire. And it sucked too, bro, because, like, I'm entering what they say the physical prime, you know, 26, 30, early 30s, you know? Like, your physical prime is supposed to, and I'm just took off with Robert Garcia, top of the line sparring, this and that, bro. And it's just like, man, what if, or God, this was on the table. But bro, like, I'm glad. And then I thought, like, bro, I started going to a church out there called The Grove, met some amazing people. Bro, I was able to share the gospel with some of the top guys from Top Rank, DAZN, Matchroom, all these guys. I remember I started doing Bible study with my boy Chop Chop Albert, who just signed a Top Rank. Like, me and him were doing a Bible study in one of the rooms, and I got to my boy Xavier Martinez before he fought on Top Rank. I took him to the Grove Church, and me and this other brother Steve, we prayed for him. I remember my boy who signed to Top Rank, Antonio Morales. I remember one time he stopped me. He was like, "Hey, bro, my mom was like, told me I should be hanging out with you. And I was like, well, what you mean? It's like, because every morning I was there, bro. Every morning I was in the kitchen reading the Bible, just like I am here.
Mhm.
You know, bro, like I read the Bible so much, bro. I read the scriptures so much, bro. And see, bro, you got me on this tangent
Yeah,
about my
nah,
faith, bro. But if there's one thing I'll get passionate about, it's that.
That's gonna be your path in the future.
Some people say that, but I don't want that.
Well, man, we'll see what the path is.
Yeah, whatever the Lord has, you know. So,
What is that famous saying? What is it? God will laugh at your
your
with your
plans,
plan.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause He has the plan for you.
Yeah. So every morning they see me in the morning, literally every single morning for damn near 6 months. In the morning, reading my Bible, reading my Bible, reading my Bible. Before the gym, reading my Bible. Before every day, starting my day off with the Bible. But they would notice I read my Bible, and then I can still chop it up with them like a normal person.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they weren't really used to that, like that. Me saying, "You feel me?" Like
Mhm.
stuff like that. They're like, they think like reading the scriptures is like this some religious cult. Like, hey, you know,
They talk a certain way.
holier than thou type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
you know. And I've been called that, but like in a joking way. But I think they would trip out that I was still like Miguel from the hood, but I was a man of God. You feel me? And I heard a guy say one time, and I never forgot it, that God isn't trying to save you from your personality. And God certainly did not save me from my personality. So I am Miguel, and I'm a man of God still. And so like out there, like my boy Antonio was like, man, bro, like you're so chill, but you're not like Bible thumping, you know? You're not like,
You're not pushing it on people.
Yeah, exactly, you know? I'm like, man, I let my faith speak for itself, you know? Like there's power in me. Just, bro, recently, man, a few weeks ago, my boy Javier Martinez, his last fight before he fought Troy, he hit me up on Instagram, bro. I was already outside of Riverside, bro. This was like maybe like 2 months ago. He hit me up. He was like, "Hey, K-Man." I was like, "What's up, bro?" He's like, what was that church that you went to out here?" And bro, it brought tears to my eyes, bro. Just like
He wanted to go back to it.
he was watching me, you know, like you don't really think people are watching until you realize, damn, they were watching, you know.
Yeah.
And so like he would see me walk to the service, and yeah, I had my car, but it was in walking distance out there. So I would walk to service on Sundays, walk to Bible studies on Wednesdays, like. So he hit me up like, "Hey, K-Man, what was that?" And I sent him a few verses that I would read before fights and stuff like that. And he was like, "Appreciate you, dog." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure. I'm praying for y'all." And man, bro, it's just like I'm thinking I'm out there for this, but little did I know God had me out there for a totally different reason, you know. And He blessed me along the way, bro. Like being out there, bro. Like I remember Josecito Lopez. He was like, he came up to me for me to lace his glove. He's like, "What's up, K-Man? What's your next fight?" In my head, bro, I'm like, "What the hell? You know my name, bro? Like I'm a little boy, you know, like
He's famous
I was
guy.
like, yeah, bro." And then what's his name? Well, the last person I sparred, bro, was Ryu. And speaking of Ryu, bro, like on 4th of July day, Felipe messaged me on Instagram. He was like, "Hey, K-Man, are you training?" I go, "Yeah, I'm still working out and stuff like that." He was like, "Give me a call," and he sends me his number, and I had his number saved and stuff. And I call him, bro, and he's like, "Hey, K-Man, we're trying to get Ryu ready for Pitbull, and you know, we want to mimic sparring like that. You want to come down here? We'll pay you for sparring. You can come stay right here at the house." And I was like, "Damn."
Were you a little close? Were you thinking about it?
Oh, bro. I was already there in my head, bro. Like, I'm already over there, like, say less. And then, mind you, this was, like, not that long ago. So, I'm like, bro, like, and I remember I called Daniel, first person I called, "Hey, dog, like, they want me back, you know, and they want to pay me for sparring and stuff like that." Only a few rounds, 3-4 rounds, he said, pay for food and stay, obviously. And a lot of it had to do with I just wanted to visit everybody again, you know, like, because them dudes became my brothers, you know. And so, yeah, bro, but after, you know, settling down a bit, praying on it, it was like, for what, you know, like for what? So I got double vision now, like going in there, bro, like there's levels to it, you know, like, so going out there, and actually the last person I sparred before I came back to Bakersfield was Ryu, and Ryu's nice, you feel me? He's cold. So it's like, bro, it's not just sitting here sparring with the amateurs, Daniel's amateurs. Over there is world class, you know?
Yeah.
So like, if I do go out there, recognize like, bro, this is elite sparring. And I just thought, not is it right or wrong, but is it wise if I go out there? And it's not the wisest decision to go out there.
Risking all that.
Yeah, so I had to turn it down and stuff like that. But I told him, I said, "Hey, bro, but I'm honored that you guys thought of me, you know, like, and invited me out there and stuff like that. Like, that meant the world to me." So, you know, those little moments, you know, stuff like that is just like, dang. And I remember, like, I had sparred out there, and my hand wrap guy, Al Gamez, he told Daniel that Giovanni Santillan had said, "Hey, that caveman guy you do his raps, that guy's an effing beast." And I was like, "Oh, he said that about me, bro." Like, bro, just feel like a little boy, you know? Like, man, these guys know who I am. This is
I'm just
crazy.
a guy from Bakersfield, and they're over there
Exactly,
talking about
bro.
me.
I live in the hood, you know. This is crazy, but man, bro, it's just God is good, you know. So like I said, I'm glad things went the way they did, regardless of what I had planned. The Lord had other plans.
So I had some people wanted me to ask you some questions. We're gonna go with Derek first.
Uh-oh.
He said, of all the guys you sparred, who was the toughest guy you sparred?
Dang. You know, I had a feeling that question would come up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like it depends.
It wasn't Derek, I know that.
Hey, bro, no cap though. Like Derek's one of the hardest punchers I've been in there with. I'm not even lying.
He doesn't understand that.
Bro. Like Derek has that power you can't teach, bro. Like you have to be born with it. So like Derek's probably top 5 hardest punchers I've been in there with. And top 2 are Rene Hidon, this little lifestyle guy from Mexico. I sparred him at the Valdez camp, and then Romero Duno was the guy that Ryan Garcia knocked out. Them 2 guys, bro, like something was in their glove, bro. Like ain't no way. Like I remember I sparred Duno at a wild card gym, and he had like threw an overhand right, and I remember he landed it like on my arm, and it backed me up like a few feet. I remember I went back to the corner, and I told Daniel, I was like, bro, he is hard. That's the first thing I said. Daniel was like, all right, we'll just keep jabbing him and stay away and stuff like that. You know, it reminded me of when I had fought when I fought Rolando Vargas. And so, bro, like I was a heavy underdog against Rolando Vargas. The fight that got me signed, he was 5-0 with 5 KOs, and he was a touted prospect for they like Top Rank they had a contract waiting for him after that fight. They were just thinking they were gonna beat me. And I took the fight because I didn't think he was that good. But he hit hard. And so I remember Daniel was like, all right, this was during the fight. This was probably like 3rd round, 4th round. All right, sit down, stay tight, and go forward now. So I was like, all right, you know, mind you, I'm like, I know he's a counterpuncher, so I'm just outboxing him, bing, bing, you know, picking my spots. And so Dan said, sit down and walk forward. And I remember I like got tight and I was getting ready to walk forward, and Rolando hits me on my arm, bro, and I blocked it. But as soon as he landed, I remember thinking in my head, I was like, hell no. I started getting back, you know. I was like, nah, bro, I am not going forward to this guy, bro. Like, especially them 8-ounce gloves. That dude will sleep me, you know. So I did that. But anyways, best guy I sparred, bro. I guess it would really depend, like, because if you
Or it could have been amateur if it was an amateur.
well, because like if you want, technically speaking, the best guy I've been in there with is Mikey Garcia. You know, like when I sparred him, which was a year ago today, ironically. If you want to go by that, but like, bro, like I sparred Ryan Garcia. I didn't think he was that good. You know what was nice, bro? Like Carlos Balderas is nice, bro. Like he's so sharp, such a counterpuncher, you know. But I'm trying to think who was like actually difficult. Oh, you know who I sparred who was nice? Oh, he was cold. And I didn't know who he was up until recently. I think his name is Alberto Puello. He's like 40-0 right now, 30-0, 30-0, 35-0. I didn't know he was that big at the time until later. I seen, I was like, oh dang, this was like 35-0. But I sparred him in Vegas and at the Salas boxing gym. And bro, I was like, man, we're getting each other. And I remember his coach was like, hey, this kid right here is nice, talking about me, like. And then Gabe was telling him like, hey, yeah, this is my new recruit, you know, like I just signed him type thing. And he's like, yeah, this kid's nice. But I didn't know who he was, you know. And mind you, like this dude was supposedly fighting at 140, 135 at the time. Like that dude looked like 180, bro, huge, you know, humongous. And so maybe him. Like, bro, there was guys who I thought were gonna be like
way tougher,
cold, and I was like, bro, like honestly, some of my easiest sparring was Ryan Garcia. Some of my easiest sparring, the second time I sparred Oscar Valdez, when I sparred Jesse Magdaleno, he was easy sparring, bro. Like I put tips on him. But as far as like giving me a difficult time, maybe that guy, Alberto Puello, like he was honestly difficult, hard to find out. And then obviously out there in Riverside. But out there, bro, like it was difficult sparring, but it was just so neck and neck, you know? It was just so like such a chess match, you know, like sparring like my boy Arturo Cardenas. Nice, bro. Like, just nice. And the thing with Arturo, bro, like, he's so simple, you know? Like, nothing fancy, not that fancy footwork. Sit down on a punch, catch a punch. a hook, a body shot, rip the body, boom, boom. So simple, bro. Chop was nice, bro. Like he keeps it simple too, bro. Like what's the name? Nice too. I sparred him a lot. Brandon Lee. Brandon
Yeah.
Lee's cold, bro. Brandon Lee could crack, bro. Like man, Brandon Lee could crack hard, bro. Like it's a trip, and he's another one of those guys. Like I said, like they just born with that power, you know, like born with that type of power. So
Well, I always remember. I'm almost towards my end of my amateur career. I know of Derek.
yeah,
I knew of him. And Coach G told me one time, I think I don't know if he was getting ready for amateur fight or maybe one of his pro fights. He goes, hey man, can you come over here? I was at the Athletic at the time. I want you to do a drill with him. Bring him out piece. You can do some sparring with him.
yeah,
And I remember the drill was a sense of something about I'm gonna throw after every 2-3 seconds, pop, rip a shot, boom.
yeah,
And it's work on a lot of his defense. And then we'll switch off, boom, he'll do to me, and then we'll do one round of sparring. So I remember on that round of sparring, we went, I shot a jab, okay, let me see how he is right here.
yeah,
I knew he wanted a check hook.
yeah,
I knew he wanted to throw a hook.
yeah,
So I remember shooting a jab, and I go, watch, I'm gonna beat that hook. I'm gonna throw a straight right at his ass.
yeah,
He turned the right on me. He didn't sit on it.
yeah.
He threw it just a little bit, bam, and it hit me, and I went, this motherfucker hit. I go, and he didn't even sit on it. I backed up until like that. I go, nah, bro, this motherfucker has some power on him.
Yeah, bro. And that's another thing, bro. Like, you could be the best in the sport, bro, but like you're gonna get clipped one day. If you do it for so long, you're gonna get clipped, bro. Like, I remember here I was sparring Gato Evan Sanchez, and bro, like one of the things I pride myself on is through my whole career in sparring, I never hit the canvas. Never hit the canvas, bro. But the closest I was well, there was two times. One time in Tehachapi, Chaz Macias, he hit me with a body shot in my left side. Oh, bro, I remember that body shot, bro. Like I remember I was like, but I'm trying not to show it. Everything in me wanted to take a knee, but I was like, hell no. Like, my pride would have let me, you know? So I stood up that time, and then there's another time here I was sparring Gato Evan Sanchez, and Gato switched stands a lot, you know? So one time he had switched the stands, but he had switched it and shifted into a punch, like an overhand right, and he kind of threw it over my jab. And I remember seeing the video, you just see my legs like turn into spaghetti. It's like, whoop, like just damn near dropped to the ground. I was like, oh, damn. And I got back up, and I'm like, whoo, I got saved by the bell, bro, because I was in the canvas on that one too. But it comes with the sport, bro. Everybody's going to get clipped, you know? Everybody.
So someone told me to ask you, do you feel you're the best boxer that came out of Bakersfield history?
Definitely not.
No?
Definitely not.
Where do you rank yourself?
The thing is, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the modest guy. Put me last place, you know? Like, bro, like, I know I did what I did. And, bro, honestly, like, especially when it comes to boxing, like, it's not necessarily just the talent, bro. It's just a lot of it has to do with luck, you know? Like, signing to the right people, picking the right fights, picking the right time. Like, everything matters in this sport, you know? The time, which is, like Charles Tremblay used to always say out there in Riverside, boxing is an extremely hard sport to make it in, you know, just because one little clip could change your career, you know, which for me, bro, like my first loss, bro, and sorry to get on another tangent, bro, but when I took my first loss, I had a contract waiting for me for Golden Boy. I was on the A side, waiting for me, just because I was supposed to beat that guy. All his win, he was 12-0, he's from Dominican Republic, and honestly, bro, he was garbage. Like, no disrespect, but he sucked. And first round, I was winning. And I got this bad habit. I've done it in all my fights, not after that, but always messed with my trunks. Since I was fighting in TJ, I always messed with my trunks. Sure enough, I did it. As soon as I did drop my hands, boom, he clipped me and I was out. And I took my loss. That fight changed my career, bro, because I didn't end up getting signed as Golden Boy, and I never was on the A side up until like I fought on Top Rank. And that was because an opponent pulled out. I was on the A side. But outside of that, like that little punch, bro, that little half a second, changed my career. So there's a lot of luck that goes into it. But get me on record, anybody, bro, like if anybody asks me off the record, his answer is going to be the same. And I've said it even when people haven't asked me. The best fighter to come out of Bakersfield is Mike Dallas Jr. And I don't care what anybody has to say, bro. Like I remember walking in here as a little boy, bro, like seeing him and like, this is me coming from like trying to be as unbiased and show no partiality in any type of way. But bro, like Mike was so cold, bro. Like the way his footwork was bang, like just
Fast ass
smooth,
hands.
bro. Beautiful footwork, angles, and he's the one that taught me how to use angles. Like, oh, shift to your side, bro, and like he gave me so much game. So, bro, like yes, there were a lot, and that's the thing, bro. Bakersfield's had a lot of good fighters, like just in general, like for Bakersfield being the size it is, it's produced a lot of good fighters, you know. And up until this day, like from the amateurs to the pros, like always had good fighters, always had tough fighters, and that's the thing. But I don't care what anybody says, bro. To this day, Mike Dallas Jr. is the best fighter to come out of Bakersfield, not just out of Bakersfield, pal, but Bakersfield. Period. You know, he's the best. So
He's been humble. I'm gonna say this. He's no lower than 2. He is no lower than 2. If you want to put Mike, I fully understand it. I have so much respect for Mike. He's no lower than 2. If you're gonna put him 1, put him 1. But it's either him or Mike. Now, all due respect to Joel, it's you or Mike for the moment.
man,
And it's gonna be like that. I know there's Billy Bailey, there's Paul. There's been a lot of great dudes that came out of this town. It's you and Mike. You two are the most accomplished fighters in my opinion. My time frame of what I know, and I've been in Vegas for a while. I've learned a lot from Coach G, and I've learned a lot of the history here. I know we've had I forgot the guy's name, but I know he fought for the belt like 2-3 times here. We've had some girls through Coach G. Now I always say you're either 1 or 2, either one of those. I don't care what you want to phrase. I know you want to be humble, but you're either 1 or 2. Respect to Mike, it's you or him.
well,
Respect.
bro, like
And they
that.
both came out of Powell. Both of you from Powell.
Well, bro, that's for one. That's thank you, man. That's like
Mhm.
extremely humbling, and I think that might be the first. I mean, first time I've heard in person somebody say that to me.
Yeah.
So, bro, like, thank you. Like, that means the world to me, bro. And I'm always gonna have Mike one. I just and Danny used to always say, bro, we were touching on it earlier. The best fighters come out the hood. Me and Mike Dallas from this area, you know,
Mhm.
we're East Side babies, and it shows, you know, in the way we fought. And I remember growing up, like always watching, like man, like does this, does that. And there's been other fighters like I like Edwin Sandoval, you know,
Yeah.
like
I've heard a lot about him.
cold, bro. Edwin was cold, man. Like Edwin was cold, bro. And even Edwin, he left the undefeated record right there, you know. Just
I believe
he
like
found a
12 and 13 and 0 or
yeah,
something.
yeah. But he found a better way, you know. Like if you can find if you have the option to get money and get hit in the head, and get money and not get in the head,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
come on now, you feel me? Like it's only right to choose the other one. So, but Edwin, like honestly, like Edwin too, bro. Like I'm indebted to him because he's the one that got me my first pro fight, like
Yeah.
ever, you know. So like he had plugs out there in Mexico and stuff like that, and yeah, so he's one of the best fighters to come out of here too. But as far as you know, Bakersfield fighters goes, Dallas Jr. is the coldest to come up out of here, bro. And even like,
Number
bro,
2.
me being through what I've been through in my career, seeing what I could have did wrong, or what I did wrong, or what I did right, I see Mike Dallas's career, and I'm like, bro, like talent wise, he was there, bro. Like
Yeah,
with
yes,
some
he
of
was,
the
yes, he was.
best, bro. Like I mean, this dude was fighting the guys who like Danny Garcia's, the Terrence Crawfords. He was in there in the amateurs with, you know, like he's on that level, you know. And so if anybody asks me, like to this day, on or off the record, I always let people know, nah, Dallas Jr. is the best fighter to come out of Bakersfield.
I always say you either 1 or 2. I don't care where you get they put you. You're 1 or 2 in my opinion.
That's another thing too, bro. Like it's a trip because I never thought I'd see when I walked in this gym, but eventually me and Mike Dallas Jr. We're sparring each other,
Yeah.
you know. So like I'm like, dang, I'm sparring this dude. You know, he sparred me when he was getting ready for Ugas, and I've sparred him getting ready for fights and stuff like that. And it was like, obviously our careers didn't line up, age groups and stuff like that, but it's just different generation of power, you know. Boom, boom, you know. And but I give honor where honor's due, bro. He's my favorite to come up out of here.
Well, I want to say thank you, man. I appreciate the interview. It was an honor to interview you, man. Thank you very
man.
much.
Thank you for allowing me to get all that off my chest. And I think this might be one of the only times I really opened up. Oh, since I announced my retirement, but that official retirement.
Yes.
But just open up in general, like as far as because this is the first podcast I've done since retiring. So opening up about my career from the outside point of view now. So I guess that's one of the first for me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
Thank
bro,
you,
I
thank you, man.
enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
I try, man. You know, I try to. Who was it? I told when I interviewed Vince. I've always my goal with this, man. Is to get you guys to tell you guys' stories. I don't care if I make money off this. This is fun for me. I get to talk to you dudes.
And that's the thing, bro. Like you're good at interviewing, bro, because you're not right there. What about this? What about that?